Hey everybody, happy weekend. Welcome back. I wanted to talk about, without getting into my views, my political views or views on all these other issues that are going on right now or going on in the past. I just wanted to stress that something I found, I wish I would have found this out a lot sooner, would have done me a lot better. I would have maintained more friendships with my family, for more friendships, or more relationships with my family, relationships with friends, coworkers. They're not your, usually not people come and go in the workplace. You change jobs, other people change jobs, so it's like, the coworkers aren't the most important, but like I want to have a healthy relationship with my coworkers too. But I just all these issues in politics in general, I just don't discuss it anymore. Excuse me, I don't discuss it on here. I have a Facebook. I don't discuss it on Facebook or any other platform. It's just not worth it. It just starts arguments for the most part. You don't always know what other people's views are. I don't want to offend anybody. And if you have the same views as somebody else, like what good does it do? It doesn't. The only thing you could really do is vote. It's and most of the time, I have changed my views over the years, but for the most part, I've stuck with my views. Nobody's ever really changed me. I haven't ever really changed anybody. So it's like, what's the point? There's no point. It just starts arguments. It just ruins relationships and friendships, and I don't want to do that anymore. I've done that in the past. I feel bad about it. Not so much about coworkers, but I have lost relationships with friends and some relatives I don't talk to anymore. And it's like if I could go back, do it all over again, I never would have brought it up. There were times I just felt really emotional about it that I just had to get it out. But as soon as I got out and these arguments started, I immediately regretted it. I just, I've learned this. I'm 46 right now. I just learned this last year. I just started doing this last year. It's really sad, but I feel good. Like even the last election, I had a coworker that he's like, "Oh, did you vote? Who are you gonna vote for? Or who did you vote for?" And it's like I don't want to discuss it. He's like, "Oh, I hope you voted for so and so." It's like, no, I'm not discussing it. We have a good relationship. I want to keep it that way. I've been here, 6 years. I want you to be around. I like working with you. He's been around for a while. No, I don't want to ruin the relationship I have with him, and I feel good about the way I handled that. But like in the past, I would have gotten into it because I know then that he's very outspoken about his political views, and we have opposite views. And I feel like if I had opened up about my views, it would have ruined the relationship I had with him. And like I said, all you can do is really vote. I know certain people, they get so frustrated. They're like, "Oh, no, I can only discuss politics with this person, this person, this person. We have the same views. Like I can't discuss politics with my sister." It's like, okay, well, then don't discuss politics with your sister. And it's like, if you want to have those political discussions with people you have similar views with, go ahead. You're not, and from what it sounds like, you're not getting the arguments, but what's the point? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything other than voting. That's all you can really do. There's just so much that's out of your control. And, like the news, like I kind of disengaged with that because I just believe a lot of it, supposedly half of it is accurate, half of it's not. I don't want to get jacked up over something that may or may not be accurate. And I have one friend that I just chose not to engage with him anymore either because he said like, "Oh, I can't believe that you don't want to, you should really pay attention." It's like, no, I don't want, I have anxiety. I don't want to pay attention. I get worked up. I used to follow politics really closely. There was this political radio show that I used to listen to, and it got me so jacked up. I finally decided enough's enough. Like I have one other friend that he said like, "Oh, I can only handle so much. There's a certain point where I just have to cut it off." I say, "No more, no more." And it's like, I definitely agree. And I pretty much, disengage with that altogether. It just gets me jacked up. Whether it be Fox News or CNN, they all have their agendas, I should say, their biases. It's who knows what's accurate and what's not. There's so much misinformation out there, especially with I'm getting into these issues, but like with COVID became a political issue. That was big. I know I got in arguments with people about masks, about social distancing, gatherings, the vaccine. I know I got into an argument with somebody about the vaccine because somebody was like, "Oh, what did you get? Did you get the Pfizer? Or did you get the Moderna?" It's like, "Oh, I got the Moderna," and they're like, "Oh, that's great, Jeff. That's great. That's the better one. The Pfizer sucks." It's like, okay, so it's like if I had gotten the Pfizer, you were going to argue with me about that? I was like, come on, get the hell out of here. And abortion, gun control. There's just so many issues out there that's like not even. There are political issues I don't care to really discuss. Especially with all these. Unfortunate mass shootings that are going on. Charlie Kirk is a big issue right now. I had one friend from high school. I don't talk to him anymore. We had different. I didn't discuss it with him, but it's like you want to be friends with somebody because they have different views. He actually said like he was referring to a certain political candidate as Satan, and it's like what really? And then he put that person's name in parentheses, and he said, "Oh, if you voted for so and so for Satan, the person's name." He's like, "Just unfriend me. Like I don't want to have anything more to do, not to me, but to all of his friends on Facebook." He's like, "Just unfriend me." He's like, "We don't share the same morals or values." I'm like, really? Like you're gonna let politics get in the way of a friendship, of a family relation? That's really sad. I know I had a neighbor used to live down my old neighborhood, used to live down the street from me, and I know that she only wanted to be friends with the neighbors that were Democrats. Like, oh yeah, so and so and so and so. I get along with them so well. They're Democrats. It's like, okay, so you're not. There's great people out there, Republicans too, but it's like you don't want to. You're gonna let politics get in the way of your relationships, your friendships with the neighbors, and it's just really so sad. And that's when I've never been like that. Like I have friendships, relationships with all sorts of people who have different political views than me. And it's like I don't want to ruin a friendship, ruin a family relationship, or a relationship with a coworker, a neighbor over anything like that. That is just, to me, I'm sorry if you feel that way, but it's pretty stupid. That's just a bunch of nonsense, I think. You can have so many great relationships with somebody that has different political views than you. We restored our friendship. I did get into an argument with a good friend from high school. We had stopped talking for a while. I felt really bad about it. And he said, and he was right. He's like, I actually, it was my fault. I brought up a political issue with him. And if I could do it all over, I'm glad we restored our friendship. But we're both big sports fans. We were both married with kids. And he's like, Jeff, he's like, let's talk about anything on here besides this bullshit. He's like, let's talk about the Bulls, the Bears, the Cubs, our kids, our wives, food. Cooking. Let's talk about anything on here besides politics. And he said politics does divide family members, your coworkers, friendships, it ruins friendships. And I'm like, yeah, I totally agree with you. That is such a good idea. No bullshit. I said, that's a great idea. I promise I'll never bring it up with you again. I said, dude, there is so many better things that we could be talking about. And I did definitely stressed, like I wasn't trying to get your goat or anybody else's goat. So, it is just really sad. It's like some people, I think I had said to somebody that, regardless of political party, I said, if you really are a good American, you should want the president to succeed, no matter who they are. That's the way I feel. Even though there are issues I've disagreed with, in the past and in the present. But one of my friends, he's like, I didn't want Joe Biden to succeed. It's like, okay, you just automatically, you don't want America to succeed. You want him to fail. It's pretty sad. It's kind of un-American, I think. And I just know, politics doesn't really get discussed. I'm at a school. I work at a school, and a lot of teachers are Democrats. There are some Republicans there, but I'm glad it really, for the most part, doesn't get discussed. In the 7 years I've been there, it really doesn't get discussed. That's a good thing. It's funny, like even our principal, after the shooting of Charlie Kirk, was that about a month ago almost? And the principal sent out an email saying, like, with all this going on right now, don't discuss any of these political issues at work or on social media. And I think that very same day, I know the person didn't get ratted out. I didn't rat anybody out, but I saw some people that I'm friends with at work making political posts on Facebook. I'm like, oh boy, I'm not going to rat you out. I sure hope nobody else rats you out, but you better be careful. You should be careful. But I guess people just get emotional. They just can't control themselves. Because I in the past, I did have some political discussions with teachers there that I knew I was on the same page with. And even they kind of even though I brought it up, they kind of put it to rest with me. I'm glad that they did, and I don't bring it up anymore, even though we have similar views. But I'm friends with plenty of people and my family members I have different views with. I feel good about that. I'm a very accepting person. Regardless of not only politics, but regardless of your race, whether you have tattoos or piercings all over your body, dyed hair, whether you're like an ex-con. I have, certain friends that have criminal pasts. It's like I put that's in their past now. They're not I wouldn't be friends with people that are currently. I disengage. I don't want to be involved with anybody that is currently involved in crime. I don't want to be, because they're more likely they're going to drag me into it. Drugs, whatever it would be, robbing bank, whatever it would be, robbing convenience stores, shoplifting. I don't want drugs, especially. I've disengaged with anybody that's involved with drugs because I don't want to get dragged. I found in the past, alcohol too, I did find in the past I kind of got dragged into their issues when it came to drugs and alcohol. And I hung around with people that committed crimes in the past. I could have been arrested, and I don't want to have any affiliation. If it's in your past, that's fine. But if it's your current, that's the only that's the only people that I refuse. If you're involved in drugs, moderation, I do drink alcohol in moderation. That's fine, but I don't want to be involved with anybody that's an alcoholic, because I got dragged down that road in the past. And I don't want to be involved with anybody that's involved in criminal activity currently. If it's in your past, I'm totally accepting of that. But I think, like Judge Judy said, it doesn't take long. Like if you see you're old enough to know, she told somebody you're old enough to know that if you go into the grocery store and you see a box of strawberries that has maybe 2 or 3 moldy strawberries in it, by tomorrow, it doesn't take long, more than likely all of them are going to have mold on them. So it's kind of like the same. You hang around with people that are involved in that kind of garbage, they're going to bring you along the way too. And definitely don't want that. But yeah, there's just certain people that's like, oh, I get along with him so well because he has the same political views that I do. Like I'm not. I know, especially during the 2016 election, I saw a lot of that, of like best friends, splitting apart because they just didn't want to talk. It's like, oh, you have different views than I do. Oh, I'm not talking to you. That is so sad. That is really sad. But hey, if that's your life, not mine. I can only offer my best advice. If that's what the approach you want to take, that's on you. I can't change you. I'm just giving you the best advice that I can give you, and I feel like I live a much happier life having the stances that I do. So I think I've railed on long enough about this. I think you get the gist. So have a nice rest of your weekend, everybody. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Good luck to you with this issue, and I'll talk to you all real soon with another great video. Have a good day, everybody. Talk to you all soon, and enjoy the football tomorrow if you're a football fan. Bye.